Conscious life on the growing edge. On the growing edge.
Good morning, good morning. I can see people jumping on. Good morning, Heather. Nice to see you. And good morning, Michael. I'm Allie Benjamin, and we broadcast live here every Sunday on the Satya Center Facebook page with our Growing Edge live Sunday session, where we talk about spiritual principles and practices. And the theme for June 2020 is a mindful life. And all month long, we're going to be focusing on Buddhist principles. And I'm drawing a lot of my information from this fabulous book by Joan Halifax, Standing at the Edge. And this is a book about finding freedom where fear and courage meet. So welcome. Hello, Ben. Hello, Claire. Hello, everyone that's jumping on. Natalia, so good to see you. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. We broadcast here every Sunday at 10 a.m. and we offer a spiritual tune-in and tune-up here at the very growing edge. We use the term growing edge because we believe that we are all individuals at the very growing edge of our own becoming, at the very growing edge of our own evolution, and that we are, each of us, responsible for the experience we're having. And so we offer principles and practices to help us at the growing edge of our own becoming as conscious evolutionaries. And so thank you for being here. Welcome. Hello, Mike Weaver. Nice to see you. Nice to see everyone. So let's take a moment of grounding, silence, and connection. And as we arrive here today, in this now moment, with the intention of connecting, of being spiritually fed, expanding our consciousness, and finding peace, equanimity, strength, courage, as we together co-create our experience. I trust and know that everyone that is listening to this has a sense of love and service for humanity, a deep sense of caring for all life, the one life that we all participate in this place of connection, interdependence. So I speak a blessing on this time together, knowing and trusting that whatever is seeking to be revealed is revealed in crystal clarity. And whatever is seeking to be released, let go of, forgiven, is done so with deep gratitude. And whatever is seeking to be realized, actualized, integrated, and implemented into our minds, our hearts, our lives, is done so with a sense of courage and curiosity, competency, and joy. I give thanks for this time together, for our co-creation here at the Growing Edge. And so it is. So welcome again. If you're here for the first time, welcome. Join us every Sunday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, and again Thursday in the evening at 7 p.m. You can join my husband and partner Michael Benjamin, and we share spiritual principles and practices for everyday living. So the month of June, we're focusing on a mindful life, and I'm drawing from this amazing book by Roshi Joan Halifax, Standing at the Edge, and she talks about finding freedom where fear and courage meet. And this is such a great topic, such a great book to be reading at this particular time in our human history and our human evolution. We're really experiencing a lot of fear and separation and confusion, and wondering how we can truly get together and join each other here at the very edge of our own becoming, as we embrace all beings in this field of oneness, and to find a sense of courage in the face of fear is what we're going to be talking about today. And so Joan Halifax says, our journey through life is one of peril and possibility, and sometimes both at once. How can we stand on the threshold between suffering and freedom and remain informed by both worlds? With our penchant for dualities, humans tend to identify either with the terrible truth of suffering or with freedom from suffering. But I believe that excluding any part of the larger landscape of our lives reduces the territory of our understanding. And that's what we do as spiritual seekers and spiritual finders. We want to expand the territory of our understanding. We want to have a deeper sense of our self-awareness and how we, as individualized expressions of the one life, can have a greater impact, can bring greater peace and joy and love and well-being into our experience. Because we know what happens here affects everything else. That is the law of one. What happens here affects everything else. So this is a path of responsibility. So here we are today talking about mindful respect. Respect is the way we hold beings and things in high regard. Respect can disappear into the swamp of toxic disrespect when we go against the grain of values and principles of civility and disparage others or ourselves. Identifying and having a clear understanding of our core values helps allow us to live a life of integrity and equanimity, peace of mind and peace in our hearts and peace in our lives. So the question really is, what do you truly value? Because when we have an understanding of what our core values are, and we have the courage to stand in our values and the integrity to continue to maintain a stand for what we find and what we feel is most valuable in our lives, and then we not only hold those values for ourselves, but we also hold those in place for others. And we have that respect, and we hold each other in this high place of understanding that we each are here on this planet to experience this life, this one precious life. We're all here to live a life of joy and meaning and of service to one another. I believe that the idea that we are the way the universe cares for itself, that we are stardust, that we at the very subatomic quantum level, we're all made of the same stuff, this universal material that takes different shapes and forms. And we as human beings that are conscious of being conscious have an opportunity to care for each other, care for human beings, care for our all creatures, care for our planet, care for the well-being of everything, our environment, so that we can create the most desirable environment for us to thrive and for us as individuals to find our own way and find our true values and have deep, abiding respect for ourselves, for our choices, for one another, and know that there are many these edge states, these values that Joan Halifax talks about in her books, these are edge states of altruism, empathy, integrity, respect, and engagement. And so as we, as courageous co-creators, as beings that truly care about humanity, we can look at these assets of the mind and the heart, altruism, wanting to serve others and do good in the world, empathy, being able to feel into someone else's life and experience, integrity, willing to stand for what we truly believe and make sure that our thoughts and our words are in alignment with our highest values, and have respect for our path and others' path, and our choices and our differences as well as our similarities. And then having the willingness to engage. These 5 qualities help us live a life that exemplify caring, connection, virtue, and strength. So having respect for others means to acknowledge their worth and to acknowledge their value. There are 3 aspects to respect: respect for others, respect for principles and values, and self-respect. To have respect for another means to acknowledge their worth and their value. And we can respect our opponents, and hopefully we respect our familiars. We may seriously disagree with what they say and do, but we might not fully understand who they are. But at some level, we appreciate them as people. And we realize that we're all born vulnerable and will probably die vulnerable. We're all here having this precious experience. So let us cultivate a deeper awareness, a deeper feeling, a deeper connection through respect. William Ury, an anthropologist, says human beings have a host of emotional needs for love and recognition, for belonging and identity, for purpose and meaning to live. If all these needs had to be subsumed in one word, it might be respect. So let us cultivate respect for one another. So I want to share a couple of thoughts I have about how we can live a more mindful life, mindfully respecting our own life and that of those around us. And one way I like to connect with others, especially when I'm feeling a disconnect, especially when I jump on Facebook and I can see all of these posts about people really struggling and suffering right now with the turmoil that's happening, not really knowing how to address some of the current issues like white privilege, like the disrespect and the violence and that is happening, that there isn't equality happening. And so when I think about that and I feel sort of helpless or don't really know where to put my energy, I connect with the idea of water. Water is an element that is so precious to each and every one of us. Each of us is primarily made up of water. I think up to 60% of our physical biology, our being is water. In the Lakota tradition, they say, mini wachoni, which is water is life. We all depend on water and it connects all of us. So in my meditation, when I'm feeling disconnected, I just tune in to the preciousness of water, knowing that each of us are made up of this. I think of every time I wash my hands, and right now we're being instructed to wash our hands a lot, especially if we go outside. So every time we wash our hands and we engage in this beautiful, precious commodity, this resource, this blessing, this part of who and what we are, which is water, which represents clarity and purity and calmness of mind and heart. It's nourishment. It's actually the blood of the earth. Water is the blood of the earth, and it is the source of our life. So when we wash our hands, how about if we just take a moment for a couple of minutes or however long it takes to truly tune in to how we're all connected, how we all value that connection, that water, that life. So that is one way I move out of my sense of helplessness or hopelessness into this deep and mindful, respectful way of connecting with with the earth, with the elements, with all beings through the mindful connection with water. Another is namaste, this putting the hands together in a prayerful pose and honoring one another. Namaste means I bow to you. The divinity in me bows to the divinity in you. So I just imagine all beings, even those that I may not agree with. And I just take a moment to think that we're all born vulnerable. We're all here on this planet doing the best that we can. And I take my hands, I put them together, and I just bow, especially to those that I might get a sense that my ego has a difference of opinion with. And I just honor their birth. I honor their life. I honor the fact that one day they're going to die. All of us are. And in that way I do a deep bow to all beings, knowing that we're all here, we all want the same thing. We all want to be seen and heard and know that we mattered. And we do. We all matter. So let us take a moment to just tune in. And I want you to hear these words. And I want you to imagine that these words come from your higher self. Closing the eyes and taking a breath. I see you. I feel you. I care for you. I honor you. You are the way that spirit shows up on this planet. Perfect, beautiful, powerful, courageous. You are the way that the universe cares for itself. Through you, through your words, your actions, through your thoughts, you uplift everything around you. I bow to you, I honor you, and I bless you. And so it is. So those are a couple of simple practices. Honoring the water, being mindful, having respect for each other. Namaste, honoring and connecting with all life as divine beings. And then how do we handle disrespect? So whether we feel it arise within us or we're on the receiving end of disrespect, when we're feeling disrespected, here's a practice that might help us to ground ourselves in healthy respect and help us cultivate more respect in the world. Firstly, take responsibility for our part in the difficulties, because whatever is happening in our world, if we have a feeling of being annoyed or othering someone, objectifying someone, when we feel that we're all connected and I'm going to take my responsibility for this part, for my part in the difficulty that I'm experiencing. And then be mindful of those situations that trigger us. So when we feel triggered, just to merely get a sense of being in our bodies, connecting and grounding ourselves and staying grounded in this field of connection, in this field of respect. Another practice is to not take things personally, to know that what other people think and do is really none of our business. And we can look and see what's happening, but not take it personally. Just be a witness to what's happening. And to not make assumptions, to just be easy and gentle with what others are doing and saying, and not place assumptions on them or expect people to act or be a certain way, because when we're in that when we're making assumptions, we're actually in other people's business. So we stay in our own business. We maintain a good internal and external boundary. We maintain our boundaries. We remain centered in ourselves, and we know what's ours to do and what's not ours to do. Then make and keep clear agreements. We have to have integrity that way with our word, that when we say something, that we actually follow through. And then renegotiate agreements if necessary. We don't have to be too rigid. We can always compromise, renegotiate our agreements. And keep things in perspective. And work with the following qualities. So important to stay vulnerable, accountable, have self-responsibility, and trust the connectedness that we're having, that we're in the right place at the right time, having an experience, and really trust that connectedness, that experience, that you, me, we are all in the right place at the right time, experiencing what we're here to experience. And have a sense of fearlessness, knowing that as we step out onto the growing edge of our own becoming, that we can remain wholehearted and fearless. Last week I talked about having a strong back and a soft front, maintaining a sense of strength, spiritual strength, yet remaining open to what's happening all around us. In this book, Roshi Joan talks about 5 gatekeepers of speech as being a Buddhist practice for connection, care, and appropriate communication. So these are 5 things to consider before we even open our mouth. Number 1, is it true? These are what we ask ourselves before we actually speak, while we're in a conversation, or when we're about to have communication, especially when we're triggered, especially when we're feeling a little bit of disrespect. Is it true? Is it kind? Is it beneficial? Is it necessary? And is it the right time? These are powerful, powerful practices to remain centered in ourselves, connected in our integrity, maintaining respect for ourselves and for others. These 5 simple questions. Is it true? Is it kind? Is it beneficial? Is it necessary? Is it the right time? As I've been practicing, I've found this to be so powerful that I actually have been speaking way less or asking way less questions, because I find that many of them aren't necessarily necessary, and it's probably not even the right time. That really my respect, my energy is better served in silence, or in meditation, or in offering kindness or care to those around me. So I'd like to end now with a little metta meditation. This is a loving kindness practice. And so this is another practice that is very helpful in cultivating integrity, empathy, respect, and compassion. So closing the eyes and tuning in. And let's begin with ourselves. Placing the hand on the heart. May I be filled with loving kindness. And maybe you say this silently or out loud to yourself. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be safe from inner and outer dangers. And just feel these words, not only hear them as you listen to me, or hear them as you say them out loud or in the silence of your own mind, but also feel yourself embodying these feelings, these words. Allow them to become a thing that is occurring within you, that is activating a true sense of intention, compassion, respect. May I be well in body and in mind. May I be at ease and happy. Take a deep breath in. And now let's send these gentle phrases out to a benefactor, someone that you've truly cared for in your life, someone that you respect, and picture that person in your mind. May you be filled with loving kindness, and feel all the love that arises as the memories and thoughts of this friend, this benefactor come to your mind. May you be safe from inner and outer dangers. May you be well in body and in mind. And may you be at ease and happy. Breathe in, breathe out. And now bring to mind someone you don't know. Maybe someone at the grocery store or at the bank or out on your morning walk or a work, someone at work, and as you bring them to mind, may you be filled with loving kindness. May you be safe from inner and outer dangers. May you be well in body and in mind. And may you be at ease and happy. Breathe in, breathe out. And now we widen the circle. And now we send it out to all living beings, connecting with all sentient beings on this planet and beyond. May we be filled with loving kindness. Feel a deep sense of connection, oneness, interconnectedness, interdependence, interrelatedness. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be safe from inner and outer dangers. May we be well in body and in mind. May we be at ease and happy. Breathing in, breathing out. And now bringing the blessing back to the self. And imagine this blessing, this prayer, this metta blessing condensed down into a tiny little pearl, and tucking that pearl into your heart. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be safe from inner and outer dangers. May I be well in body and in mind. May I be at ease and happy. May I live with ease and love with ease, now and always. And a deep bow of respect to all living beings. Open the eyes. Take a moment to honor this moment, this time where you've taken some time to nourish yourself, that you've said, I am important, that I do deserve to connect and be loved. You are loved. You are the presence of love. May this day be one of blessings, and may you be a channel of blessings in somebody's life today. May we all be a channel of blessings in somebody's life today. So thank you for joining us today. If you'd like to support Growing Edge, you can go to our website at growingedgelive.com, or you can Venmo Satya Center, Satya Center. We thank you for your donations. We survive on your and thrive on your generosity, and we appreciate all that you do to support us in our mission to connect with others, to support each other in our conscious evolution and bringing peace and well-being to this planet. Thank you so much, and please share this video and know that you're loved, and we'll see you on Thursday night or here again next Sunday. Peace and blessings. Bye-bye.